So today I want to talk about ego and attachment. So this afternoon, I'm just sitting in the sun, feeling the warmth on my body, getting some vitamin D, and I've been reading The Power of Now as well. This is such an amazing book. It's Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And this is maybe my third time reading it. And it's a very powerful book, and I think, in my opinion, that it's not just any book just to read. I think the book will come to you when you are ready to read it. And it's not just a one-time read. I usually read it when I feel that I need to read it again. So I want to talk about ego and attachment. So for a long time, in growing up in my childhood, I've been seeking for validation of love from other people and from men or boys to fill that void and that emotional void that I did not receive from my parents growing up. And recently, I got in, over a year ago, I got into a relationship, and I thought I was healed, but I wasn't. And it was the most beautiful relationship that I've ever had, but things went a little too fast, and it's you think you know everything when you get into a relationship and you think you're healed, but then you're not. So I was going between people to people and not being by myself because the ego needed to feed itself to be alive, and it needed to attach itself to others to fill that void. But I need to fill that void within myself and love myself. So moving forward, the current relationship that I'm in, I'm not in a committed relationship with this person anymore, but we're still there for each other, and right now it's beautiful, and we're just enjoying each other's company. We're young, and we're just experiencing life, and we're there for each other, and we came into each other's lives to figure out what we need to heal and figure out what we need to grow from, things that we didn't even know that we needed to heal from. And right now the relationship is so much better than it was while we were committed to each other. Before, we were just arguing, and I guess we had a trauma bond because we moved in together, and it brought up so many things that we didn't know that we needed to heal from. We got attached to each other, or from my experience, I got attached. So obviously, we're not together, committed, but we still have a very beautiful connection and relationship to each other. And obviously it's going to be sad. And I've been thinking, I'm why am I sad? Why am I hurt? Even though the relationship is so much better than it was during its time. During its time that we were, together, committed. And I just came to the realization that ego loves that attachment, and that ego needs itself to feel alive, and it needs to be alive. And during this time where I'm feeling sad about it, because when you go through a separation, of course it's heartbreaking, but right now the relationship is so much better, and the connection is so much better than it was. So the ego loves the feeling of attachment. So then in order for it to survive, it distracts itself from the pain. So that's what I've been doing. I've been distracting myself from the pain, like watching videos to distract my mind, or stuff like that. But I realize it's the ego trying to keep itself alive, and it's ceasing to be in the present moment. And I realize, I'm like, okay, this is my ego trying to keep itself alive by attaching to itself to a label, to what was, because right now it's beautiful, and the ego hates seizing to the present moment and experiencing things in the now, and it hates experiencing what is, and it distracts itself from what is, and it tries to attach itself to things and fill voids in order to stay alive. So one thing I can say is, fill your own cup, love yourself, detach yourself from things that don't serve you. Do not keep the ego alive. Let the ego die. Be in the moment. And that's all I have.